Virus, 61,000 deaths per year. Hepatitis B, 521,000 deaths per year. Influenza, 500,000 deaths per year. Ebola, 9% mortality rate. For centuries, these infectious diseases, and many more like them, have haunted mankind, causing nothing but death. Fortunately, though, science has now progressed far enough to allow humans to fight back and take protective measures. Researchers across the globe are working towards defeating these viruses using the most modern theoretical and applied techniques currently available. One of the leading researchers in the infectious diseases field is Dr. Katia Cole of Duke University. She began her scientific career at Stanford, where she received a BS in biological sciences. From there, she studied at the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor to earn her PhD in ecology and evolutionary biology, as well as a certificate in complex systems. Nowadays, she heads her own research group at Duke University that focuses on the evolution and ecology of infectious diseases. Her current focus is primarily on influenza evolution. The old school of thought on the influenza evolutionary process, known as antigenic drift, was that it was driven by mutations in the hemagglutinin antigen. This surface protein's ability to constantly change within a viral population allows the virus to continuously evade the body's antibodies and white blood cells, since even if the body learns to recognize that particular hemagglutinin, it quickly adapts to a new unrecognizable one. Within the last few years, though, a team from the National Institute of Health, known as the Hensley Group, has proposed a new theory on how antigenic drift occurs. Instead of hemagglutinin, they believe neuraminidase is the driving force behind antigenic drift. Their research showed that antigenic drift rates are extremely low within a single host, a contradiction to what should occur if hemagglutinin is the driving factor. Neuraminidase is another influenza surface protein that is responsible for allowing the virus to enter a host cell. The more effective this antigen, the easier the virus can enter cells, replicate, and thus spread. The Hensley Group found that antigenic drift rates were higher when influenza transferred from host to host, showing that changes in neuraminidase were allowing the virus to spread faster, and therefore must be the driving factor. Dr. Cole and her team have built off of the Hensley Group's discovery in a recent paper. She has created a new mathematical model using differential equations that incorporates neuraminidase as the main force behind influenza evolution. This new model is more accurate at predicting the spread and evolution pathways of influenza than previous ones, further suggesting the importance of neuraminidase. From this model, scientists can figure out what the best treatments and methods of vaccination are for preventing the spread of the disease and slowing down its evolution. One surprising example would be that the model shows that not everyone should receive flu shots. The best method to slow the evolution of the virus is to only have the young and elderly receive the vaccination.
Where do you see your field going in the future? What is going to be cutting edge 20 years down the road?
So I mean, if I knew it was going to be cutting edge 20 years from now, I'd probably start doing it right now. So I think one thing that will become more kind of will become kind of easier for us to do, kind of because it's just kind of data limitations now, is so we know kind of the full genomes of these viruses, and how they change over time. But in terms of the hosts that they interact with, whether it's human hosts or pigs or birds or whatever, that the genomes of the hosts that they interact with are very, very complex, right? And they differ between individuals, right? And so, I think the next 20 years, and 20 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have so much more. Will be, so much more data on kind of the host side, I think.
Okay.
And so, really, I think we'll be getting a kind of better grasp of, why certain individuals respond in certain ways to infection versus others. And this kind of goes into kind of personalized medicine also. So I think that's where a lot of the cutting edge research will be.